Okay, and welcome to today's program. We've got a topic I'm going to discuss today with a quite eminent panel actually on the subject of India. Is India going to be the new China? Let's talk to this panel and find out. To my extreme left we have Soni Singh, who is the Managing Director of NMtronics, which is probably the largest distributor in India of production equipment. Next to him we have Sanjeev from Arvind from Arvind Consultancy, of course. Yep. And next to him we have Aranda Chakra from SEMI organization. So welcome, gentlemen and lady, and let's get started. There's been quite a few questions here about some of these regions that are expanding to try and have an end-to-end supply chain across the world. India's, in my opinion, has done the best job so far at doing that. But then I have to ask the question, why has India successfully managed to attract the PCB and the component companies from China to India when we haven't been able to do that here in Europe or in the United States? Who wants to start with that?
Yes, Indian market is really growing, and it has just happened to that we had our internal sales meeting this Monday, and we published some of the internal statistics. To be very short, the India market sales is exactly 50% of the China sales. There was a time when India market was probably 20% of China, but it is just a matter now we are crossing more than 50%.
50%?
50% of China market.
Wow.
So that is a very authentic data. This is our internal data, and this gives a lot of excitement.
Yes.
China market has the entire world geopolitical situation, which has moved a lot of companies to go for a China plus one strategy. So I have seen a major shift moving to Vietnam, Southeast Asia, India, and Mexico to some extent.
Yeah.
This, when we come specifically for the Indian market, first thing I would like to give credit to our Honorable Prime Minister. With his leadership, the policies were framed so business friendly that the biggest Fortune 500 companies or even some of the startup incubators are very active now. So just to be very quick on this, our company is the largest and a very premium sales service and distribution company in the field of PCB assembly and testing solution. And of lately, we started building our own product, Make in India conveyors, and then laser marking machine and the AOI. We have a lot of other things in the roadmap. We are building pretty high-tech stuff for the robotics and also for the software for the manufacturing process systems. And so on.
You're building these though for international companies.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
And just to be quick, we are selling one assembly line almost every week.
Right.
And we have never seen that momentum before.
Wow.
And we also have nearly about 40 to 50% market share when it comes to the electronic manufacturing business. So this is definitely a sign where we have seen the global companies, the Fortune 500 EMS companies.
Yes.
They are growing. We have lot of Indian large corporates. They're getting into this. Even the listed organization in the stock market, they are continuously expanding. And most importantly, the recent data shows that we have added more than 25 new customers in the last 1 year.
Right.
So this adding new customers in the business ecosystem, that is a real good achievement.
Yeah.
And once they test the water and how the electronic manufacturing is bringing them the results, bringing them the excitement, and I think so that's really the matter of joy.
Yes, yes. No, I agree. Sanjeev, I mean, it's certainly true that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has brought in some very good policies to encourage Indian companies to invest, but also made it easier for international companies to invest in India. So would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think the policies we have seen in last 10 years in India, particularly it started with the PLI scheme, Production Link Incentive Program, where they encouraged mobile phone, IT hardware, telecommunication, automotive electronics manufacturing in India. The PLI scheme has such a good impact that today more than 90% of the mobile phones are manufactured out of India.
Right.
Then the next thing came was the ISM, India Semiconductor Mission Policy about semiconductor.
Yeah.
It talks about semiconductor wafer fab, LCD wafer fab, as well as compound semiconductor and ATMP OSAT, where 50% incentive was given by central government and almost 25% incentive was given by state government.
Yeah.
So with this attractive scheme, we have already approved 10 proposals, and now there are another 8 to 10 proposals which are under consideration. So that was the second policy which has made a huge impact on Indian semiconductor and electronic ecosystem.
So is the government absolutely offering subsidies to these companies to invest there?
Actually, they are giving 50% cash incentive of the total investment what you are doing in a particular program by ISM. And state government are offering the 25% in the form of either a free land or electricity, tax benefit.
Okay.
But overall, the company is getting almost 75% benefit from central plus state government.
Mm-hmm.
Then government realized that, okay, the passives, PCB, connectors, cables and battery, they are also contributing almost 15 to 20% of the electronic BOM. Mm-hmm. And to create that ecosystem, they came up this year in the month of April with a policy called Electronic Component Manufacturing Scheme.
Right.
And it was open for application till end of September. You'll be surprised, there are totally 249 proposals we have received for all these passives and bare PCB.
Wow.
And worth almost $14 billion.
Right. Well, that's,
So I think all policies are really taking good shape. Corporates are showing a lot of interest, and we see that in next 2 to 3 years, this ecosystem will evolve in India. So till now, it was most of it was low-end kit assembly or EMS assembly, but we are going to move up in a value chain.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, Aranda, I mean, what's the semi view on the way that the Indian government has started to roll out a semiconductor policy?
So I would like to compliment what my co-panelists have said here, and I would like to start maybe on the fact that you asked the question in the beginning, why the shift towards India?
Yeah.
A huge contribution of that would be the geopolitical tensions, and maybe also events that have happened in the past, like COVID and all, which have taught us that really it is very important to diversify our supply chain.
Right.
And that is a huge drive that has given, I would say, India an opportunity in this case to attract this market. And not just that, India has a huge amount of skill and people, both
Right.
available. Per year, per annum, there are around 1.5 million engineers that are graduating in India who, they're experts in design, software, and
Yeah.
that is a huge need of the market of
Absolutely.
diversifying.
That's a big problem over here in Europe and US. We just can't find the operators. So
Absolutely.
the fact that you have, so many skilled people in India is a big attraction for sure. Yeah, that's great. Okay. And to get to my next question, I've lost my place here. Anyway, one question I did want to ask was obviously on the question of Productronica. I mean, you represent Productronica. You're on the board, Sanjeev.
Advisor to mention India.
Right. And I know we had talks before we started, but I think we want to just voice it very briefly here that Productronica is splitting into two next year, Productronica North and Productronica South. There's a lot of debate around this. Can you give the official line of why you're doing this?
Absolutely. India is a very large geography. Okay. When we analyze last 4 years, we till now we used to do 1 year in north in Noida, 1 year we used to do in Bangalore in south. Okay, but if we look at last year's Noida participation, almost 80% visitors were from north of India and 20% were from south. Whereas this year in Bangalore in September 2025, almost 80% visitors were from south and 20% were from north. Secondly, Indian electronics industry is growing at a very, very fast pace. As per the ISA Counterpoint Research Report, which was published earlier this year, a $150 billion electronic market, which was there last year, is going to be $400 billion by 2030.
Right.
So India is going to be contributing almost 10% of the world market by 2030. And with this huge growth, and when the geography is such a widespread, we felt that there is a need to really address the requirement even of MSMEs and startup who are located in south as well as in north, because they cannot really come to a different geography to showcase their technology or products. So we took this decision that okay, every year we will do 2 shows. April will be North India in Noida, September will be South India in Bangalore.
Well, you know, I mean, it's quite common for people to fly back and forward from Delhi to Bangalore. I mean, it's a very common route. I understand the argument you're making for the visitors, but certainly for the exhibitors like Sony on the end here, it's very expensive. I mean, it's a lot of cost. I mean, Sony, will you take 2 smaller booths? Is that how you think you'll approach this?
Yeah, Trevor, this is a very sensitive question for me. First thing, Messemission has done a great job.
Yeah.
You know, Productronica India is a flagship event in India.
Yeah.
And I think so after Productronica Munich show, the India is definitely a second spot. Even via China, you have a NEPCON and Productronica both, but NEPCON leads there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but India definitely Productronica is a flagship show. And every year, people wait. You look at an example of Productronica Munich here. It happens every 2 years. And it's a alternate year electronic and Productronica. People wait to come here. I think so. NMtronics is and all my group companies. We are one of the biggest customer for Messemission India because we really invest heavily, and the market is growing definitely. But splitting the show into 2, in my personal opinion, we are going to dilute the attention here.
You'd rather see the way that they do it here in Germany, where they do 1 year Productronica, 1 year.
So
Electron.
it just happened, Trevor. Before coming to your show here, I happened to meet the Productronica Munich people here. I told them the same thing. I said, if you really want to do the show twice, do a different format. Do in the form of a workshop, or not in the form of the exhibition. There are a lot of other ways to do it, because we as a customer for the Productronica, for the Messemission, you have to listen to our customer, you have to listen to us, because it is not only the cost of the booth, it's not only the cost of decoration, it's definitely there are so many indirect costs coming in, moving the machine back and forth, getting in the packing, unpacking, and India infrastructure is not the world class. We all know that. Right. And we always come across some of the broken parts in the machine when it is coming back in my showroom. So there's a huge logistics, indirect cost, and it takes us 3 months in preparation what to exhibit, you know.
Yes.
And if it is happening twice every year, so 6 months we will just be busy for that.
Yes.
But we have to do our business, and we have also seen being in the exhibition is very important, because that's a direct barometer for the industry growth. But it's a very important that what is an ROI coming in. So definitely it is not worth it at this stage. There are other ways to be the present in the market, like Semicon India. It's a combination of our workshops, like Semicon West. This more for our workshops, is more for a technology side. Yeah. So Messemission can always evolve themselves to having a more of a conference side. 1 year for conference and 1 year for the exhibition. Right. And you know, because the idea is to attend, idea is to bring the audience to listen to the industry. So
yeah, but generally speaking, Productronica has never really been a conference venue. I mean, they don't have a conference alongside this show. I mean, there's a lot of independent forums inside the halls.
Exactly.
But not a conference per se.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Productronica China and their other locations.
Exactly.
But, you know, your point's well taken, for sure. So we'll see.
Let's see
we'll
how
see
the thing goes. Yes.
So let's move on. We have a limited time, so let's keep the questions moving. I'll go back to you, Sanjeev, this time. You know, in India, there seems to be an awful lot of OSATs opening. I mean, Keynes, for example, is opening 7. Tata's opening 1. There's lots of them opening. Is there enough chip capacity in India to keep these OSATs going?
Okay, actually yes, there are almost 8 to 10 OSAT ATMP coming up in India, except Micron, which is their captive ATMP, all other are OSAT. But these OSATs are not set actually for India supplies or India demand. They are targeting the global demand. Globally, semiconductor industry is going to grow from 600 billion last year to $1 trillion by 2030. So we are going to witness a huge growth into semiconductor industry. And India, those 8 to 10 OSAT which they are planning, those are targeted to capture really this growth. If you look at the wafer fab, there is only one Tata wafer fab which is coming up.
Yes.
So ultimately, the wafer supplies has to come from global IDM as well as other fabless companies to really do the packaging out of India. So particularly the strategy what I am seeing with these so many approvals is that we are really going to participate big way into global demand of semiconductors.
Okay. Do you want to add anything to that question, or do you want to stay? No? Okay. So I'll ask you then next question, which is what Indian policies do you think are being most successful at supporting the Indian electronics market?
Well, to begin with, I would say one of the biggest policies that has really helped India is the current government's policy of Make in India.
Yeah.
That is a huge drive that really encourages to assemble locally.
Yes.
And from that also rises the Indian Semiconductor Mission, as was mentioned, you know, which is under the Ministry of Electronics, but it's kind of an independent body. And it is actively working on collaborating and expanding the semiconductor ecosystem in India. And with that also there comes like a lot of incentives from the government, PLI schemes. But like I remember beginning of last year I was in Brussels and there was a R&D collaboration between EU and India, which was driven by the European Commission and ISM from the Indian perspective. So there is a lot happening from the Indian government side. There's a lot of, let's say, hunger, you know, to grow. And what I find beautiful about this is India was a huge market earlier, but now you see there's a change, there's a growth. India doesn't just want to be a market anymore, it wants to be a supply chain. Right. And for that, we have a lot of capacity, we have a lot of good design capacity, we have very good like software skills, engineers, and I think it's very important, and which the government is already doing, is coming up with these policies and schemes that incentivizes these and helps grow, also with collaborations, international collaborations.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Sonia, do you have anything to add in terms of policies that you think have been helpful, you know, to help you grow your business in India? I mean, I know we've talked about the Make in India, but I mean,
yes,
what else has been helpful?
In fact, this is a very interesting trend we are seeing that. If you look at the Semicon India for the last 2 years, I have been observing our Honorable Prime Minister, how he's steering the whole building an ecosystem for the Semicon business. Yeah. And it's a very interesting thing. When the first time it happened, he invited all the big joint ventures to happen, CEOs of Tata Electronics and the Keynes and the CG Semi, Suchi Semicon, all the leading brands, those who are getting into the OSAT and the Semicon business, they were invited.
They were invited.
And interestingly, in 2025, along with our Honorable Prime Minister. So we have all the equipment people sitting, like besides him. We have the people from ASML, we have people from Tokyo Electron, we have people from Applied Materials, and so on.
Right.
So government is extremely smart. They know how to build the ecosystem. They brought the customers in, then they brought the investors in, they brought the equipment and technology company coming in. Now they are now encouraging the domestic companies like NMtronics to come forward and start doing something to build the machines.
Yes.
So coming back again, the machine building, like the business which we are in, it contributes directly to the GDP. If you look at the Germany, if you look at Japan, if you look at Taiwan, look at Korea, look at like United States, they are developed nation, and the GDP, the equipment manufacturing company, the capital goods manufacturing companies, they significantly contribute to the GDP of those countries.
Yeah.
India, unfortunately, we don't have right ecosystem or the right environment to build the machines.
Up to now is more a software location.
Exactly, sir. We are very good in the software, but when it comes to the hardware side, we are really lagging behind. Government has recognized it. That's why I'm getting invites from the government. I'm getting invites from the association to come become a part of the advisory committee and part of the main body, how to drive it. At least I'm a very serious player. That's the reason I wanted to test our machines getting exhibited in Productronica Munich. So we are the only company in the entire event where, as an Indian organization, we have set up a booth here.
Yes.
And we have showcased our Make in India small conveyors, laser marking machines, 2D AOI, couple of good nice softwares running in. And to my surprise, the response from the customers is more than I expected.
Right. Well,
and even the customers from Norway, even the customers from Spain, Portugal, even some of the German customers, they came and they say, okay, how much will it cost? And I told my designers that it has to be Chinese price, Korean quality, and quick delivery. And if you are able to meet that, why not? So I'm extremely happy. I've already started preparing a roadmap for the next Productronica to happen after 2 years.
Okay. All right, so we're running out of time, so I'm just going to very quickly go from one to the other. Where do you think we're going to end up with India in 5 years' time?
I think in manufacturing, EMS ecosystem is already evolved. The component ecosystem will evolve over next couple of years. India now should focus, if you look at the value chain, India should focus more on fabless ecosystem as well as the product innovation.
Yeah.
Because India's strength is design. If we have to improve on the value addition, then now India should concentrate more on developing products from India as well as developing chips from India.
Right.
If we focus on design aspect, then I think we will able to capture more than 50% value of any electronic product. Because current biggest challenge for India is about the local value addition. Market is going to grow. Our consumption story is extremely strong with 1.42 billion population, with more than 400 million middle class population. Our buying of electronic is growing rapidly. But how we can improve the value chain of electronics and not only do the SMT assembly in India, that will determine how the electronic ecosystem will take shape in next 5 years.
Good.
But future looks very bright.
Good. Randa, last word to you.
Thank you. I would actually like to grow on that and say that there is immense opportunity, immense growth. SEMI itself started its own branch in India, and that is kind of a saying the amount of need and requirements of the region.
Yeah.
And of course, Semicon was mentioned quite a few times, Semicon India. I'm very happy to hear that, because that is a platform which we are providing for the semiconductor industry to come and have and show your product, show your things, have conversations, meet with people, and all this I think will lead to a very bright future for India, and we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope it will be.
I'm part of ISA Executive Council, and SIMI and ISA jointly did Semicon India. 35,000 registrations, and Prime Minister Sir himself came for 2 days out of the 3-day event.
Wow.
So it was a remarkable event.
That's incredible. Okay, well, thanks for a great debate, everybody. I think India is certainly going in the right direction, and maybe in 5 years, by that time, it'll have invested in some infrastructure so they don't break as many of Sony's machines. So, thank you for taking part. That's Sony Singh there from NMtronics, Sanmir from Arvind Consultancy, and Aranda from SEMI. And thank you to our audience for watching today.
Ko Young is leading a smart revolution that will change the world of electronics manufacturing. Based on our pioneering True 3D measurement-based inspection technology, we revolutionize the solder paste inspection market to such great lengths that 1 in 2 SPIs sold today is from Ko Young. Building our SPI technology, we expanded to automated optical inspection, also known as AOI. Every year, we introduce new award-winning innovations and have proudly earned the respect from thousands of customers across diverse industries. Aside from our R&D center in Korea, we have research facilities focused on artificial intelligence and deep learning across the world to help us further develop proprietary AI technologies for your challenges. With our global network of sales and service centers, we aim to respond quickly to your needs and to deliver the highest level of customer satisfaction.